Story, story, story. Once upon a time, time, time. Story, story, story. Once upon a time, time, time. Story, story, story. Once upon a time, time, time. Welcome to Story Time with Kody. Like I promised you the other time, I'm back. And I have a very beautiful story to tell all of you titled Three Friends and the Three Wishes. Now, let me ask you a question before I continue. If you have an opportunity, and you're given three wishes, what would you wish for? Think about it. Okay, so while you're still thinking, let me tell you this very beautiful story. It's the story of Efua, Obehi, and Okalo. Efua, Obehi, and Okalo. The three of them were very good friends. Now, let me tell you something about each of them. Efua loved his family so much. He loved his wife, he loved his children so, so much. And then Obehi loved to sleep a lot. His favorite place was his bed. And the third person, Okalo, hey, that one had nobody. He was living alone. So he loved his friends, Obehi and Okalo, so, so much. In fact, he could not do anything without them. He involved them in his celebrations, in everything that concerned him. But there is one thing about the three of them, one thing that all three friends shared in common. They were drunks. Yes, they loved palm wine so much. For those of you watching who are not up to 18, palm wine is a very special drink, but it is reserved for adults because it contains what we call alcohol. Alcohol is not to be taken by anyone who's under the age of 18. So these three men loved alcohol so, so much. Sometimes they would drink and get drunk. They did not know their limits. They didn't have that much self-control. It was their favorite drink. So they drank it anyhow, anywhere, and in fact, any time of the day. So Efua was constantly trying because Efua's wife never liked alcohol, never liked the husband's habit of always taking alcohol, always drinking palm wine. She never liked it. So she was always complaining and she was always talking to the husband, please, can you change your character? Can you stop taking palm wine? But unfortunately, Efua could hardly control himself. So there was this very day that Okalu got a very big gallon of palm wine. He was very, very happy. He had money. He did a job and he got money. So he used the money and he bought a big gallon of palm wine and he brought it to his friends. He told them, look, guys, let's go and celebrate. Obehi was the first to follow him. Then they went to Efua's house. When they got to Efua's house, hey, Efua didn't want to go because he had promised his wife that he was not going to drink for a long time. But when he saw the gallon of palm wine, he could not control himself again. Somehow he sneaked out of the house and all three friends went to their favorite joint under the tree in their village and they started drinking. They drank and drank and drank. The palm wine was particularly so much that day, so they could not control themselves and the palm wine wasn't finishing as it used to. At some point, they lost control of their senses and then they got up and started walking around the villages. They were singing happy songs. These happy songs I'm talking about were songs, happy songs done by drunkards. They sang different kinds of songs and they enjoyed themselves doing it. They went from one place to another. They kept singing. They would hold hands with Okalo carrying the remaining palm wine in the gallon. They kept going from one place to another until at some point they did not realize that they had gone very far and had gone into the bush. But they were happy. They had no care. They were, as far as they were concerned, they were having the best day of their life. So they kept walking in the bush and going from one place to another until they got really deep into the forest without knowing it. So when they got tired, they sat under the tree. They continued singing, they continued drinking, they were so happy and carefree. At some point, they got tired and they became very, very drowsy. They laid together, holding hands. Obehi held Efua's hand. Efua held Okalo's hand, and they decided to rest. So while they were resting, it was already very late, and everywhere was already very dark. That night, the forest king came out, and by the time he saw them, he was wondering, what are these people doing here? Do they realize that they have gone past the boundaries of humans? And he looked at them, he took pity on them. He realized that they were very close. This must be three brothers or three friends who genuinely love themselves. He took pity on them. You know, normally, when the forest king comes out, anything he sees, he eats because he comes out in the middle of the night to feast. But when he saw these three friends, the unity among them caught his attention. He held back a little. He saw the way they were sleeping, and then he decided to wake them up. He tapped them, and the moment they woke up, he asked why they were there, and they said, "Oh, we didn't realize that we have gone very far. What are we doing in the forest? Oh, what are we doing?" And they could not talk well because they were still under the influence of what they had taken. Whoa, what are we doing in the forest? They looked around and they could not understand what they were doing in that forest. And the spirits told them, "You are in the wrong place. You need to get out of this place. I would have eaten you, but the reason why I'm not eating you is because I realized that you are either three brothers or three friends who genuinely love one another." They said, "We are three friends." That's Efua. This is Obehi. This is Okalo. You know, they were talking just like they felt they were absolutely drunk. So while they were saying that, the Spirit King said, "Okay, I will give you a chance to leave this place because I realized that love exists between the three of you. Now, I will give you 3 wishes. If you use 3 wishes well, you will leave this place and you'll be happy forever." Now, each of you has to wish for something. Because Efua had stayed so long, remember Efua is the one that loves his family so much. Because he had stayed so long in the bush, he realized that he missed his wife. And then the moment they threw the 3 wishes at them, Efua said, "Oh, how I wish I was with my family." And the moment he said that, he disappeared. And then Obehi said, "Oh, how I wish I was sleeping in my bed." And the moment he said that, he disappeared. Okalo is the one who loves his friends so much. And the moment it got to his turn, he said, "Oh, I miss my friends so much. How I wish they were all here with me." And guess what happened? All 2 friends came back. Efua came back. Obehi came back. And because of that, the Spirit looked at them. He shook his head. He felt so bad because he genuinely wanted them to leave the forest. But hey, these are foolish men. They have made a very great mistake. How was it that all 3 of them did not think about the wishes before they made them? And they were all selfish, making their wishes. Oh, the Spirit King could do nothing about it. Yes, he made up his mind he was not going to eat them because, hey, these are 3 friends who genuinely loved one another. But if they have made this mistake, then they will live with it. The spirits left them, and they wandered and wandered and wandered all through the forest, trying to find their way out of the forest. But unfortunately, oh, so unfortunately, they never made it back home. What happened to them in the forest? What do you think? You can guess on. Let us know in the comment section. And please, if you have not followed me, please try as much as possible to click on the subscribe button, turn on your post notification. I've promised all of you that I'm going to drop 2 stories every week. Please follow me. If you have enjoyed this story, share it. Share the link. Send it to someone. And of course, spread this news. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. My name is Kody the Coordinator. Mwah! Love you to the moon and back.